Today on the Ask the Anxiety Guy show, I'll show you what being more than anxiety truly means, which books to start reading today, and why anxiety leads to physical pain. Warriors, welcome. Your questions matter. You're listening to the Ask the Anxiety Guy show.
This podcast episode is brought to you by the End the Anxiety program, a downloadable CBT-based program created by the Anxiety Guy himself to help heal your emotional distress and put anxiety behind you once and for all. Visit www.anxietyexit.com to learn more today.
Warriors, welcome to episode number 152 of the Anxiety Guy podcast. This is the hashtag Ask the Anxiety Guy show, where you ask the questions via social media and email, and I answer them as best I possibly can. I'm excited for this show. I just had acupuncture. I'm happy. I feel light. Let's do this. First question comes in from Jillian Groves. It's a great question, actually. Jillian asks via email, Dennis, I love when you remind us that we are more than anxiety. So what does this truly mean from your end, Dennis? To be more than anxiety, Jillian and all the other warriors, means to be more than your 70,000 thoughts that cross your mind each and every day. To be more than your emotions related to the ego mind wanting to be fulfilled. To be more than your survival brain or reptile brain, which seeks to connect a threat to your survival anytime you engage in unfamiliar acts. To be more than anxiety is to come from a place of open-mindedness to possibility. To see a past event, current situation, or future challenge from multiple perspectives, not just the one that's been the most familiar to you. Cognitive flexibility leads to emotional flexibility, my friends. To think in open ways is to perceive things in different ways. To perceive things differently is to feel and act differently, which leads to becoming different. Remember this, becoming more than anxiety scares so many people out there. It scared me. But this fear is only due to a lack of understanding, true understanding. To understand is to be able to explain to others what you seek to understand, and many anxiety sufferers can't explain in detail and specificity what personality they want to become, and the depth of their strategy that they are implementing. Let me give you an example. People who work with CBT, a method I believe directly influenced by the teachings of Stoicism long ago, can't truly explain CBT. They go into CBT, or any other method for that matter, with the hopes of quick learning, applications, and results. To become more than anxiety is to seek inner growth, to see your challenges as opportunities, and to view your problems from a whole other perspective, an energetic perspective, not just focused in on your symptom. Talking to so many people today, focusing on their symptom, you are talking about one small fragment of a much larger pie. your energy body. Hope I've answered that question, Jillian, and all the other warriors out there that want to know what it's like to be more than anxiety. We're all on that track, trust me. Every single day we are self-mastering ourselves. We are working hard cognitively. Question number 2 comes from, actually, he's becoming a good friend of mine on Instagram lately, Patrick Patterson. What's up, my friend? Dennis, could you recommend some books to continue training my anxious mind? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Let me go into a little bit of detail for each and every one of these books too. And you know, some of these books don't really have the entertainment value. I just want to put that out there before I list these books. But we're here to create growth. We're here for deep realizations, clarity, epiphanies, and to get emotional and attached to the teachings of the book. So the first book I recommend is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari from Robin Sharma. It's a great book. In fact, when I was staying in Spain for about a month, I was listening to the audiobook version of this book, and I was looking at the ocean, and something dawned to me, and the pain that so many people go through today hit me so hard at such a deep level that I actually started to have tears run down my face. The book is based on a rich, successful human being that felt like happiness and fulfillment was based around the amount of money that he made and the toys that he had and his social status and so forth. And he sold all that stuff and became a monk or a sage. And many lessons came with this. I'm not going to give the book away. But my sadness was because so many people today are actually in this world. They live in this world. And so, great book. That's my first recommendation. Second book is Rewire Your Anxious Brain by Elizabeth M. Carl. This is a great book to understand your anxious brain, your anxious mind a little bit better. It talks about the amygdala. It talks about the cerebral cortex. It talks about the different ways you can generate anxiety, either through thinking patterns or emotional reactions and things that are hardwired in your subconscious. It's really a good book to understand your anxiety better. Third recommendation from Brent Baum. The book is Trauma School Earth. It's a great book. And you have to understand where the teacher Brent Baum is coming from. With this book, he's talking about emotional reframing. He's talking about not really reliving your past memories, but reframing them in a way where you don't have to experience the memory as a whole. And he uses certain language that we understand, like color, noises, temperatures, spins, all that stuff to describe the trauma. And he teaches you how to reframe that trauma. So Trauma School Earth by Brent Baum, my third recommendation. Fourth recommendation, especially if you have what's called nervous illness, which Dr. Claire Weeks has labeled. Today we call it health anxiety, hypochondria, somatic symptoms disorder. That's a new one that the doctors have come up with. The book's name is Hope and Help for Your Nerves by Dr. Claire Weeks. It's a great book. It's a great book to understand your sensitization better. And I'll leave it at that. The final one, actually, I got two more. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And again, I talk about the subconscious mind quite often, and this book will give you a deeper insight into your particular storage system, meaning your mind and your body. And finally, for all the people out there that are interested in Stoicism, which in my world is very much connected to CBT, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Great great read. Marcus Aurelius wrote this not for other people but for himself. While he was at war, he was the emperor of Rome. He had all the power in the world, and he wrote these little tiny instances, these meditations, as he was in different environments, doing different things, kind of like a diary for himself, which is really inspiring. I was inspired. It's a great book. Pick it up. And yeah, those are my recommendations. Pick them up. Start reading. They're excellent books. The combination of all of these will give you a deeper understanding as to why you're going through what you're going through and how to become the person you're driven to become. And it doesn't fill you with motivation, and it doesn't just inspire you. It makes you inspirational. That's our goal here. Third question from Julia Ann Bourne on Facebook, on the Facebook tribe. Love you all over there. She asks, everyone experiences emotional trauma, Dennis. Why do only some suffer from physical pain? And how does one protect oneself? It's a great question. A lot of people out there have sensations and discomforts, but some of them have physical pain that goes with the anxiety, the traumas, the emotions, the thoughts, and so forth. And how does one protect themselves from this? My honest answer to this would have to be due to the accumulation of stress in the energetic body. Remember, we got two bodies. We got the physical and we got the energetic. The reliving of the trauma within the mind consistently, and therefore reliving the trauma emotionally, can cause this. I truly don't think we, as humans, truly grasp the deep consequences of our emotions yet. We don't. We can't grasp it yet. You simply can't live in a so-called negative emotional state for long periods of time and expect to be physically healthy. It's not going to happen. Your emotions dictate your physical body. Your physical body dictates your perceptions, meaning if I feel like crap, I'll view people, dinners, mornings, my house, my kids, my wife, my life in crappy ways. Emotions dictate the way we filter things in and out of our minds. The emotional refractory period adds to this as it states, anyone who's highly invested in a certain emotion due to a certain event that happened will then perceive everything around them in a way that re-triggers the same emotional state. This goes on for a period of 45 minutes. But because it's so familiar, it goes on for much longer than that in many, many people. The physical pain is a manifestation of what emotions, due to trauma, are stored in the energetic body. Let's understand this. That's why when you go to a doctor and take care of the symptom, the lessons and traumatic events from the past come back. And they come back in different forms again and again and again. Why do I constantly have different symptoms, sensations? We store trauma peripherally. Remember that. Meaning you don't even have to be involved in a situation to store an emotionally traumatic memory. That is so eye-opening. I mean, that is everything. You could easily just be out on the grass catching butterflies as a kid while dad slapped mom on the front porch and started screaming at her. Protecting yourself is not the answer, though, in my opinion. Releasing yourself is. And to release yourself of stored trauma, you must engage in methods that speak directly to the subconscious mind, like NLP, emotional reframing, some types of hypnotherapy, visualization, and also engage within the conscious mind through methods like CBT. I say this all the time. Self-mastery and becoming someone new, a new character, therefore changing your reality, is a 24-hour job. It really is. It doesn't mean you stress over what you have to do. It just means that you are alert and you are conscious. You are practicing consciousness and self-awareness. This is the key, because so many, I'm not going to say so many, in fact, the majority of the world is unconscious. They run the same patterns and habits, hoping for a miracle, wishing for a miracle. And the subconscious mind does not react to wishing and hoping. It reacts to direct orders. Let me say that again. The subconscious mind reacts to direct orders. I think people expect too much from certain things that they've just begun learning about and applying into their lives. Honestly, guys, your system doesn't like change. It will resist change because in the context of physical pain, that pain is there as a reminder and a warning. A reminder not to make the same mistakes you made before, and a warning based on what may be lurking within your environment. Understand this very, very powerful podcast episode. Share it with someone who needs it. Quote of the day: expect nothing, gain everything. I will leave you with that. You are more than anxiety. Bye-bye. Warriors, remember, you are more than anxiety. You keep asking the questions, and I'll keep answering them.